Hey guys, MONKE here bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we are going to be taking a look at the newly updated Giant Ape Power team with the new Gogeta and of course the temporarily boosted Year 4 LR Super Saiyan 4s, and just have a quick run through and see how we get on with this team. We're jumping into the Goku story Universe Survival Saga Red Zone, the one that ends with the AGL Jiren, because obviously this fight was considered one of the hardest in the game for quite a while. I will say, when it comes to doing what is considered currently the hardest fight in the game, I've definitely been having some issues when it comes to the Rose and Zamasu. The AoE, and of course just how hard like Zamasu is able to hit. I talked about it when we did the showcases for them, but like the Year 4 Super Saiyan 4s with their temporary buff, obviously they are very, very powerful in terms of they can put out some really big attack stats, but their defense really isn't that great. They got solid raw defense in terms of, like, you know, it's around 2 million-ish, I think, even pre-super, but they have no other defensive tech whatsoever. So once Rose starts to get a little bit built up, you know, they're dying to his AoEs potentially. It can be pretty tricky, and rotation locking obviously being an absolute nightmare. This is definitely, the Giant Ape Power team is a team that can be really, really good and can be really effective, but I think a few teams in the game do kind of fall under this, and to be fair, it's a lot of teams because it's a horrible mechanic, but this is one of those teams where rotation locking specifically really does like mess with this team's ability to be good, because the team is set up in like a very specific way. We've only really got a couple of units that can handle being our slot 1 tanks. A lot of other characters, it's fine for them to tank even like supers after they've attacked, but if you go into an event with rotation locking and that unit gets locked in slot 1, like if you go into the Rose Zamasu event and you have either of the 4-year Super Saiyan 4s locked in slot 1, then you're just dead immediately. Like, quit, retry, start again, I guess. Super Saiyan 3 Goku at least has the potential to dodge. Gogeta is obviously really good in this event, like this new Gogeta, because of course he can counter Ki Blast super attacks, which both Rose and Zamasu do. So that can be really, really good. But yeah, the other units on the team, there's also the build of using the GT Super Saiyans, like the physical Goku and the Int Vegeta, instead of the 4-year Super Saiyan 4s, but unfortunately they do basically suffer from the same issue, right, where they will just get absolutely destroyed by super attacks, AoEs, like they get a lot of their defense when they attack, so they're just not in a good spot. Like, this team in general has a couple of units that can kind of handle different situations and potentially even being locked in slot 1, but for the most part the team is not particularly good events with rotation locking. Now obviously I know the Jiren fight, we do have a stage with rotation locking, but hopefully we'll be able to get built up enough by then that it shouldn't be a huge issue, because of course, like, we do actually at least have a chance to get some build up. These guys having 1.6 million and guard, I think they should be fine here. Worst case scenario is this immediate slot 1 super, but even if we do take some damage from it, I'm pretty sure we live. Because that's the thing, we ended up with Gogeta and Tech Vegeta on the same rotation, and they are basically the slot 1 units for this team. Which is interesting because Tech Vegeta himself, like we saw this in, I did an event the other day. Actually, I'm not sure if it even made it into the video. It might have been when I was first attempting the Gogeta stage. But even with the 10th anniversary power creep, it wasn't too bad, because like he got his EZA during the anniversary. But now for these difficult fights of the Global Dokkan campaign, it seems like the Tech Giant Ape Vegeta's defensive capabilities kind of like dropped off a cliff, right? He's taking massive damage from super attacks in slot 1, even early on against Rose and Zamasu, which is not what we want. And of course, one thing that can be super awkward is when he gets hit, he gets some extra ki. His 18 ki super is an AoE, so that would mean he hits Rose and buffs him like straight away. So you kind of want to, if you can, steer away from actually even getting him the 18 ki super in that fight, which can be a little bit tricky. So, yeah, Giant 8 Power is definitely in one of those sort of weird spots where we saw these units coming out, like Gogeta coming out, these guys getting a buff, and it's like, hell yeah, like Giant 8 Power is going to be a great team again. But unfortunately, like I say, with the way that some of the new events are, like how they go, how they flow, like the team's just not super good against a lot of the stuff that's going on in those setups. So I think we will, yeah, we'll just keep Gogeta here still. Gogeta, one of the great things about Gogeta is the fact that he just has to get hit one time. It's like the Beast Gohan active. He just has to get hit one time, and then from that point onwards you have access to the active skill to do the Dragon Fist, which obviously can come in handy on various different rotations if he's getting locked in slot 1, for example, like using the active skill gives him a massive defense buff for the turn. And yeah, we can save it until later without having to worry that we haven't met the condition in time. So yeah, that's a really great part of his kit, is just the fact that his active skill is just basically free. Obviously, I guess if you give him dodge in hidden potential with dupes, and he dodges like the only attack he would be taking of the turn on the first turn, that would be kind of awkward. But I guess there's a lot of events where you don't want to use it straight away on his second turn anyway. So it's not the biggest deal. But yeah, STR Vegeta with the 50 million attack stat here. And of course they get guaranteed crits as well, the year 4s. Now, obviously when it comes to getting hit with a super, they do take a lot of damage from these harder hitting bosses, but they do have a 30% chance to counter, which I was about to say is very rare, but there you go, we managed to get it here. The fact that they have guaranteed crits as well means that the counter will be a crit. So, I mean, that's really good. It's a shame that when they got their easy A's, they weren't updated to 50%. I don't know if they consider that to be too powerful for some of these characters, but what do we do here? Let's go... I think we probably just Giant Ape here. Of course, the animations are on, but... yeah, I think if we Giant Ape here, we probably do end up having to... well, we're going to kill Kefla here with the Great Ape transformation, I'm fairly sure. So then we get to start off the next rotation and see what we're looking at. Bearing in mind, if we're going into the next rotation against Jiren, where there's potentially rotation locking, I have got the rotation set up the way I want it to be. So Vegeta's in slot 1, the Super Saiyan 4 Goku's in slot 2, and then the 7 years are in slot 3. I mean, the thing is with the 7 years, you do kind of want to keep them on rotation, but with the Super Saiyan 4 Goku leads, once he's transformed, giving all that support, like, you kind of want him on the rotation. But yeah, this is one of those teams where once the big units come out and are ready to go, like, there's not enough room on the rotation for all of them. Because obviously having like AGL Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and the 7 years is really good. And having AGL Gogeta and the Goku is really good. There's a couple of really good setups for this team in terms of characters that want to be run together. That once you get the first few turns in and actually are getting these transformations and everything, then you're kind of good to go. Whereas early game, as I say, you've got these limited slot 1 options. Like the year 7 Super Saiyan 4s can go slot 1 on their first turn, and then after that they've just got guard, which means getting hit by a big super in slot 1, they're not going to be tanking it. Did we not quite kill Kefla? I didn't see that last year. Okay, of course. So that's super awkward. I mean, they have 2.4 million guard and then 10% damage reduction from Goku, but we do need to do the keeping the rotation the way we need it. Because Vegeta, with the extra support and damage reduction from Goku, that obviously helps quite a lot. He dodges the normal and then gets supered immediately. Okay, that sounds about right. Because yeah, typical. We had the turn set up perfectly for the Jiren start of the like rotation locking sort of situation. And so, of course, we didn't actually finish the phase. Because if we did, it doesn't matter who gets locked where, because we already had the rotation the way we wanted it to be. So, I do like Vegeta's KO screen, though. But anyway, so we do that. We go on to the Int Jiren. Who's he locking where? Okay, it's locked Goku in slot 3, which is not really what I want, so let's turn the animations off. Actually, remember, do this. Obviously, this helps us out a lot for the first turn as well, because we are essentially going to be getting rid of Jiren's super attack from the equation. I'm pretty sure it cancels out the AoE as well. So, because obviously his super isn't a Ki Blast super, so Gogeta won't counter it in slot 1. He probably does still tank it relatively well, especially if we actually did do the active skill. Great 8 with the dodge, you'll love to see that. Because I finally got dupes for my Goku. I don't know if this is my one that's on the rotation, but I finally got dupes for my Goku and I gave him a pretty decent amount of dodge. So it's kind of funny that the Great 8 will dodge a decent amount from time to time. Which is always funny because obviously it would take absolutely 0 damage. But consistent dodges with the Great 8, you love to see it. Great 8 ducking and weaving. Doing a bit of free damage. Setting us up for a pretty strong turn coming up here, because we're going to have the Gogeta and then both Super Saiyan 4 Gokus. So it should be a lot of damage. I also want to be out of this phase as quickly as possible because of the rotation locking, so I'm probably going to use the AGL Goku's active skill to do some nice extra damage. But yeah, the only downside to running double AGL Super Saiyan 4 Goku is the unskippable Grandpa cutscene. Having to see it twice. Why can this just not be skipped like everything else? But okay, so let's go ahead, and you've got every link active, so let's go ahead and use this. Do a nice little bit of free damage, 32 mil. And then I don't want to use the Dragon Fist just yet, I don't think. Or do I? Should I just get out of this phase like as quickly as possible? When he gets hit, he gets 400% extra defense. So he's going to get, what? 1.6-ish million when he gets hit with a super. That puts him to like 2 million with 50% damage reduction guard, 60% damage reduction because Super Saiyan 4 Goku's on the rotation. So, I mean, he probably just eats the super regardless. I mean, I kind of want to see it, to be fair. So, let's go ahead and do that. Because bear in mind, my Gogeta is 55%. So, let's see what we get here. I'll grab those for you. Yeah, obviously we're going to tank the normals for double-digit damage. Is he going to super before we attack? Although Gogeta doesn't get defense on his super, does he? So, but yeah, 55% full level 10 links AGL Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta here. And get that nice crit. 32.8 on the additional. Remember, his attack's effective against all types as well, so even if we don't crit, we still do pretty solid damage. Well, he didn't. So are you serious? Oh, of course, it's the Giant 8. I'm stupid. He didn't super in slot 1 because we used the Giant 8. That's like the whole point of using it. Because for a second then I was like, oh no, he's not going to super Saiyan 4 Goku in slot 3, is he? But of course he isn't going to super anyone because we used the Giant Ape. So I totally didn't just completely forget that I'd literally just done that. Alright, Goku doing some nice damage. But yeah, this next turn is where we're going to see potentially an issue. It depends who's getting locked where. Of course it is. I was going to say, the worst case scenario is Vegeta getting locked in slot 1. Because I don't really know. Like, he's not going to survive unless he counters a super. But I mean, I feel like this just goes to show with the new event and then even these older events, this goes to show why rotation locking is the worst mechanic in the game and why it's so annoying. Is to get this far and then it's just like, okay, so we just lose now then, unless I use a Sensu Bean, which I didn't actually remember to bring. So yeah, we've just lost now without using an item, which is super annoying. So rather than just have the video end here, I guess we will just use the item. But Because, I mean, he's got 3 million defense and 10% damage reduction. But this Jiren hits for like... Actually, to be fair, well, no, this Jiren hits for like 4 to 5 million, I think. So... And we didn't counter it, of course. There is a possibility he might have survived, actually. With Goku next to him, nearly 3 million defense and 10% damage reduction. Let me actually get Jiren's super attack numbers up here. It's been a while since I've checked the int Jiren. Because maybe we would actually have lived. But where is the Goku story? Red Zone. There we go. Universe Final Saga. Yeah, no, he greatly raises attack as well. So yeah, he hits for like 6 million. So yeah, we would be dead in slot 1 without the Whis. Because like 3 million defense, 10% damage reduction. That takes that 6 million down to like 5.4. And then 3 million defense. So we take 2.4 million damage. So yeah. Unfortunate. Because yeah, you can be having the best run. Like everything can be going super well. And then, yeah, rotation locking is just like, actually, you lose now. Like, it's like, oh, okay. Cool. Okay, so Goku's locked in slot 3. Because, yeah, these guys will end up getting supered if we don't... Let's transform them. Because then they're going to get their 18 key off and then have the big buff ready for the next turn that they're on. And then we've got the double Gogeta rotation going here. Although of course we won't have a Super Saiyan 4 Goku with them if we're going to float this one off here now, but that's fine. Oh, of course he's going to super in slot 1, which will immediately counter, so we actually won't get the 18 key super, right? Because the counter will just kill him. Yep. The best laid plans, eh? Oh, and in fact, yeah, this rotation is now super cursed because we messed up our thing. We should have just kept Giant 8 Vegeta, because now no one on this rotation can tank Jiren super in slot 1 again. Bruh. I really want to see that double Gogeta turn, but I mean, even with a Whis, I think we might actually die here. So, yeah, rotation locking yet again, ruining everything. Like, the whole point of the game is your rotations and like building your team, planning out your rotations, putting the specific characters like with the other characters that they want to be with, and then one of the boss mechanics is just like, actually, yeah, just undo all of that stuff that you just did, like all of that stuff that you just set up. Like, just forget about that. Like, reset that. It's like, oh, cool. Wow, he didn't super in slot 1. I can't remember the last time I had this AGL Jiren not super me in slot 1. Typical. Use the item and everything. Wow, Vegeta just actually showing out in this in this run. This Jiren only does 1 million damage normals as well. So like with the defense that the Super Saiyan 4s, like the 4-year buffs, Goku would have just actually tanked his normals in slot 1. So we didn't even need the item on this turn because Vegeta actually got the 30% chance to counter. And he's done that twice in this video. That's actually crazy. That's not something I would ever like count on him to do. That's why I used the item. It's not like I'm not going to be like, well, we'll get that 30% chance to counter, so we'll be fine. But yeah, that's actually crazy. Alright, well, time to go crazy. So let's do this.
I can't hold back anymore.
It's just so good. I wonder how long it actually took for them to do this, like, as the whole project, because, man. 56 million crit. They absolutely snapped with this. So I guess we'll just put U slot 1 then. Do this. Do this. And you do this. Like, Vegeta should be fine post super, but I mean, I don't know if he'll get a chance with how much damage we're potentially going to do in this turn. Because the active skill turn obviously means guaranteed crits for AGL Gogeta, Then we have Rainbow, level 10 links, all links activated, physical Super Saiyan 4, Gogeta in slot 2. So we should be seeing a lot of damage on this turn. But yeah, I mean, we had to use items. It's a little bit annoying, like I said, any events with rotation locking. But this team is very well poised for like any events that don't have rotation locking. This team is going to be really, really good at clearing through these events. And bear in mind that Giant 8 Power has plenty of buffs to come. Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku will eventually come out. There's 4 Heroes Super Saiyan 4 EZAs this year. So Giant 8 Power is going to get quite a few extra units. We know we're getting the Baby and Super Saiyan 3 Goku, like Golden Ape unit EZAs as part of this celebration. But annoyingly, unless... I'm really hoping that they will, because it feels pointless to EZA them otherwise, but where they actually change the restrictions so like you can actually use them in events. Like there must be some way in the game they can program, like if they really don't want you using them as the leader because they don't want people nuking the shorter events, there's got to be a way to make it so that you can't go into the event with that unit as your leader, but you can with them on the team. Like there must be a way to do that, right? But maybe it's too complicated and that's why they just blanket ban. It's just like, no, you just can't use them in this event at all. Because otherwise, like that Super Saiyan 3 Golden Ape Goku specifically could be really, really good if you can actually use him. Because he's a support unit. Back in the day when he came out, in like the 2nd anniversary, the rotation of him and the STR-TUR Super Saiyan 4 Goku was out damaging like anything else in the game by an insane margin. Because... like they're just so ridiculously powerful, and that support is like 33%, which at the time I'm not sure if we had any support units that gave that much support. So that Goku has the potential to be really good again. Same with the Baby as well, really. But yeah, it just depends whether or not they actually make them usable in events or not. But they're obviously going to be buffs for Giant 8 Power as well. So Giant 8 Power has a lot of interesting things to come in the near future, but it'll just be a case of how well the team fares. Because I mean, I guess when it comes to the part 2 GDC special battle stages, like Omega has AoEs but is a bit easier than Rose and Zamasu. Gogeta's biggest thing is that he supers mostly in slot 2 or 3. So again, with like this team for example, you would be essentially relying on the Super Saiyan 4 like 4 years to get that 30% chance to counter, and then they can't really go in slot 1 because his normals do so much damage, so they're not particularly useful like in that event, unfortunately. So it's a tricky one, but Jiren's got way more health. I forget, of course, like I said, some of these fights feel like such a slog with the amount of HP that the enemies have, but we get to this turn, so we get to do this. This was like my favourite animation in the game when this unit came out, and it's absolutely insane to think, like, this animation is still good, but it is crazy to think about, like, this guy compared to the new Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta that we've just got. Like, I still love everything about this active skill, but yeah, the new one and the Dragon Fist and everything, oh boy. But there you go, so that's Giant 8 Power with the new Gogeta. It's pretty fun. Hopefully some of the EZAs we get, I mean, we're getting the 2nd year Super Saiyan 4 Super EZAs, so the real big thing for this team will be if they're really, really good and they can go on here instead of the LR ones, because of course the LR ones are going to lose their temporary buff at the end of the celebration anyway, so the team does need something to take their place more permanently going forwards. So hopefully their Super EZAs will be really good, but obviously we will have to wait and see. So let me know what you guys think of the Giant 8 Power team down below in the comment section. How are you running the team at the moment? Do you prefer the GT Super Saiyans or the 4-year Super Saiyan 4s? Let me know all your thoughts down below. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.